Hi guys, we're here
Hello.
and we are we're here to talk about the new Doctor Who episode. It's called Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, and
Wow, I remember. I'm amazed you remembered that.
yeah, I
I
just kept I kept having to look it up as Tesla, Doctor Who Tesla, like the whole that, and now I remember it. But it was a good title because it kind of tells what went on. And so with me here are three fellows who are intellectually astute, and so we will allow them to speak. We, the royal we. Yes, and this episode takes place in New York. So because it takes place in the United States, I'm going to go across the pond to Ella to begin our podcast. Please give your opening thoughts on Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror.
Nikola Tesla. Yeah. No, I thought it was a really strong episode. I wasn't here for last week's review, but I thought
We
there
did
was.
miss you.
Yeah, I thought last week's wasn't as good. It wasn't one of the best. I did like the monsters, by the way, but I thought the story it needed more work to it. But I thought this one was really well paced, and I thought it was really well told as well. The all the characters were great. I always love it when they have historical characters in there. I thought the guy who played Tesla was great. He was absolutely brilliant, and he actually looks a lot like him. He really does. If you've seen a picture of him, he really looks a lot like him. Yeah, the monsters. I like the monsters. They remind me of the Arachnos a bit.
Yeah, from the Tenet ever?
Yeah, Tennant's era. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
the
thought.
Christmas special, Runaway Bride with Donna. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned in my little thingy, in my little review on my Instagram. I thought I was like, it's that thing, that spider thing from
The
the rock.
Arachnos. Yeah, the Arachnos.
Yeah.
And you know, I
I was
really liked that they were just scavengers. That they were. It wasn't even their ship or any of their technology. They were just stealing it, and that's why they needed Tesla to fix it. You know, to fix the ship for them. And I thought it just felt very. It felt very connected, if you know what I mean. It felt like Tesla belonged in the episode. Like there was a reason for him to be there. You know, the story made sense around him and what it was trying to achieve. Yeah, and I thought the Empress or whatever she was, I can't remember her name, but I thought she was great. And of course, she's the Rani of Sarah Jane Adventures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that creature. Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a couple minutes. I know I'm not on my thought yet, but I think to add to his point of view, when he was talking about the monster, I was having recurring David Tennant themes going on into the episode. It felt like a David Tennant episode in my thoughts a little. There was so many things. Well, this is not my part yet, so you get the point. I'm just putting out the facts for him.
And I like seeing the steam train as well. I love steam trains. So
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my opening thoughts for now.
All right, Mikey, bounce off of what you were just saying and go for it.
So, okay, for my thoughts, I did attend to all of these podcasts, so I'm glad that I am attending to this one as well. Yay! So, my thoughts about the episode, I'm surprised they did another good historical episode. Like, it's like a little bit of the Rosa Parks thing, but very, different. Very different, but very, electronic and historical. I love the beef with Thomas Edison.
Thomas Edison, yeah.
Thomas Edison and Thomas Edison and
Nikola Tesla, yeah.
Nikola Tesla. It's how to pronounce their names. Nikola Tesla, Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla. Yeah, I love the beef and the energy from the fight, and I loved the monsters. The monsters were extreme. I was like, okay, but also the scorpion things. I'm like, what the fuck are these things? What the hell is this? What the hell is this? Is this some mutated creature or some scorpion thing? Like,
She was a scorpion queen.
yeah.
Like the Mummy series.
Oh,
Oh no, not with the Rock. Oh my God, no.
let's get back to topic, friends. Anyways,
I win.
get distracted. Anyways, let's get back. But really, there was good moments in the episode, and it was. Let's just say it was just historical. Everything was historical, even for the last line when Tesla said about something about the future, and it's his future, and it's mine. That made me like, oh my god, that was speaking motivation. Motivation. The key. Motivation is the key. But yeah, I love the whole plot, the whole settings. I love when it looked like they actually went to New York. I don't know if they went to New York or some shit, but it looked like they actually did.
They didn't go back in time and go to New York. New York doesn't look at all like that right now.
I think it was Cardiff.
Oh, it possibly was.
I think it was just Cardiff. It wasn't as glamorous as New York. It was just Cardiff.
But really, it looks fantastic. It actually looks like almost the actual thing. It actually looks like the actual thing. It was very interesting, and I'm like, bro, this is so professional. But the I know the companions didn't have that much screen time. I know Graham and Yaz and Ryan had some screen time. I guess they took a little break from the talking and stuff a little bit because it's what they float their boat. But also with the doctor in the episode, the energy was kicking. She was getting more serious into this thing. I loved when she was like bringing her inner rage or her inner darkness, the oncoming storm, if you get the reference. But yeah, for overall, I love the whole episode itself.
Yeah, I like those scary demon creatures as well. Those the things with the red eyes, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking about like okay, do you remember Matt Smith's one of Matt Smith's second or third episodes with those things in the tubes with the big red eyes?
Yeah. That was in the Beast Below.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've been getting some weird vibes from it, and the eyes. I've been getting like some similarities from some episodes of the classic New Who.
Well, I wouldn't call it classic. You'll upset some of our viewers.
Oh, I know. I'm confused. I know.
Upset Lee. Oh my god.
Lee,
don't call Matt Smith classic.
Don't
please. They'll have a meltdown. Do you know what I like? That everybody got into costume as well, all the companions.
So you could say, instead of saying classic, you could say epic.
Epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, epic. It's hard for me because
it was electrifying. It was electrifying, Susan.
It was electrifying.
It gave me a buzz.
A buzz.
But it had a sting in its tail.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I loved everyone who portrayed like the historical people. It was damn interesting seeing like people presenting the historical people who made the stuff and all, like literally. Who was the guy who played Nikola Tesla? I mean,
I don't know, but he was great.
Let me see.
And Thomas Edison was great. I loved their banter. I loved it when they went into the TARDIS and Thomas Edison, and he said, you know, you can't. Graham said, well, you can't sell anything of this because Thomas Edison just wanted to profit on stuff, didn't he? You know, he just wanted to. He was just a businessman, really.
Yeah, like literally, they did a good job. And you said there were things being compared about with the actual people and the actors who done like the roles. I think at one point on my Instagram I saw a comparison from the official BBC Britain Doctor Who account with the comparison. I was like, okay then.
Yeah, they looked a lot alike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nikola Tesla was played by Goran Visnjic, and Thomas Edison was played by Robert Glenister, and he'd been in a bunch of movies with Robert Carlyle. He's a great old actor. Great. Anyway,
I don't know how Susan's managed to get Robert
yeah, I
Carlyle.
know. There we go. And then Paul Casey, who's played everybody from like a Cyberman to everybody else. All the tall, bad guys. He played Harold Green, and so that was really awesome. You got to see his face for a second, and then he was gone. And then wait a minute, come back here. And then Robert Gulliver played Bill Tallow, the guy who's got the faces, and then Brian Cass played Mr. Martin, and so yeah, and then Angie Mohindra, who
That's Sarani, yeah.
she played Ronnie.
Yeah.
And Haley McGee played the Tesla's assistant. What's
The
her
one
name?
behind you.
Dorothy Skett.
Yeah, the one behind you.
Yeah, her. So that's the whole cast list. So go on.
I thought the cast did really well.
Yeah, let's just open this up. We're gonna do, instead of going around normal style, we can just talk.
We just might as well talk.
Yeah. So just Alex, what's your opening?
I liked it. I did like the pace. I did like the fact there was actually a lot of dialogue in this episode.
Yeah, there was.
It's kind of interesting, and also the villains were very similar to that Runaway Bride
Rachnos.
episode. Yeah, so I don't know if they're still the same or if they're cousins or whatever.
I think they're cousins.
They're cousins.
Yeah. It's what's implied.
Yeah, same family, but not the same thing.
Yeah, it's like the remember the Ood and
the Ood, yeah.
Oh, what were they called from the classic series? The Sensorites. That's it.
Sensorites, yeah. So I actually did like that. Of course, the Edison character was a little stereotypical, but I did like the fact. What's his name?
Robert Glenister.
No, I know the actor. I like his brother.
Tesla.
But the companion. What's his name? God, I always forget.
Graham.
Graham. I like the fact that he's like,
Graham. He had some great lines.
He did. I like the fact that he was correcting them and saying, hey, you're not here just to make money off of us,
Yeah, that's what I liked.
He kept, that's the other problem sometimes with people that are too focused like that. They forget that, not everybody's there to help them make money. Not everybody's there to, do what they want. But yeah, I mean, I was slightly disappointed with the episode. I thought it could have been written slightly better in terms of the scheme, but I did like it. I still liked it. I like the fact that you go into the old Doctor Who gambit of the villain that thinks they're 10 times smarter than everybody else in the room when they're not. And I like that. And like I said, there was a lot of dialogue in it. Again, I don't know if the companions really had a lot to do. Or the fam, I guess, as they call it now. But I like the fact that they did have some dialogue. I mean, they weren't just a little bit.
Well, Yaz and Ryan had to do the whole thing with Tesla, and then Graham was on the other. See, they split them up.
Yeah, because Yaz got kidnapped.
Yaz got kidnapped, and they split them up into different parts, and that's how they do it in Big Finish.
Yeah.
And it gives the companions sort of their own occupation, and I'm sure that they'll do a lot of that because that's what they do with Fifth Doctor.
Yeah, they do. They do
as well, because there's so many people in the TARDIS,
Yeah. No, and I did like the sort of the nod, because as we know, they've done it unfortunately in too many American movies with the beams shooting out of the sky thing. But I thought Doctor Who did it pretty good, actually. So, again, I think it's gonna, it's probably a little bit of a mishmash. I don't know if I liked so much the Tesla line, "Oh, the future is mine," but again, there's plenty of people that have jobs that they're not,
all his ideas, right?
Yeah. No, but I'm saying there's plenty of people that are that are good at their jobs, or they're trying to invent things and they never get any credit, or sometimes it takes 100 years before they get credit for anything.
Yeah, well, we still have his coil, and we still have the possibility of making our power system wireless and stuff. I mean, these are things that he developed that we could still access, but we are sort of entrenched in sort of we went the Edison way, and that's just the weird thing. And I enjoyed that interplay between the two. It was kind of like I've heard tell about Sir Isaac Newton, how he extrapolated most of calculus from other people and wrote it down in Principia. He was the one who was able to write it down and disseminate it. So we give him credit, but it was actually a bunch of other people's work. And so this is what happens, is that there are people who are, people who are the distributor of these things, and people who are sort of the brains behind it. And
I'd have to say, no, carry on.
Go ahead.
I didn't even know the cars were named after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tesla cars, Elon Musk, isn't it?
Yeah, Musk. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't Elon Musk?
Yeah, Elon Musk, he does the cars, doesn't he? The Tesla cars.
Yeah, isn't he a fan of Tesla himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Like
that's why it's called the car Tesla. Yeah.
Yeah, he's his ultimate fanboy. But he's not. He hasn't started working on the technology that Tesla had developed. He's actually gone a different way too. So I mean, it's just hard to get back to what Tesla was saying because of all these different vectors that we're on, and we never sort of circle back around and talk to him, except for in science fiction. So that was fun. So what are your guys' favorite moments in this?
Oh my God, so many.
There are so many.
I liked a lot of it, like all the banter with Tesla and Graham and all that. I thought Graham was a standout in this episode. Really, I thought some of Graham's lines were really good, and with Edison as well. I just liked it when they went into the TARDIS because they're engineers, they're inventors, and for them going into the TARDIS, it's like the ultimate.
Wow!
It's like this is how much, well, not humanity can do, but this is how much can be achieved in this universe, in Doctor Who. Yeah. So, I really liked all those moments. And I liked towards the end where Jodie's original plan fails.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was going to fire but then she got there in the end because she obviously teleported the Rachnos. I'm just going to call her the Rachnos. The Rachnos back to the ship. And then she, but she didn't blow up the ship. The ship got away.
Right.
If you notice, the ship didn't blow up. The ship got away.
It went to hyperspace.
Yeah, it went to hyperspace. Yeah.
Because
I was thinking, I thought Jodie wouldn't kill all those creatures.
I put a
because it's like when the Doctor let the Sycorax go.
Right.
And then, clearly Torchwood blew them up, but not in this instance.
And then there was the ones that the Atraxi.
Yeah.
He let them go too. I don't know. It's just that was really interesting. You're right. And
yeah, I did like the ending. I thought she got quite threatening. Actually, I thought she got quite.
Yeah.
The villain got quite good. Quite threatening towards the end.
Yeah, she was threatening like everyone in the episode, like so bad. I was like, okay, that's that person. Get the hell out of my face.
I mean, the Doctor's not going to die, but it was still fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I liked it when the Doctor did outsmart her. The Doctor always outsmarts the villains in the end, and that was good to see.
Yeah,
but she didn't wipe their minds.
Yeah, and she didn't give Tesla sort of new information.
No.
And she said, "Listen, he's just not going to have anything left in what, 6 months or a year or something."
Yeah, because he dies. Yeah, he dies, doesn't he? When does he die?
43.
1943.
1943. So when's this set? This was 19.
Yeah, 19.
30, 25, 30.
Yeah, no, 20. 25.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why she didn't wipe their minds is because they're inventors. They could cope with seeing the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Whereas people like in Spyfall, she wiped their minds.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't know they couldn't cope with it or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why she didn't wipe their minds really, but
I think she was worried about the she kept mentioning how the aliens kept stealing stuff, and I think she was afraid that not only that they were going to hurt people, but steal all the inventions, steal all the economy of the earth. So I think she was more worried about that.
And it was a Silurian gun as well.
Yep.
So everybody was right when they said it looks like a Silurian gun.
Yeah. I think because she was trying to not rewrite history, but some history did get rewritten in this episode a little bit. Some people were saying some moments have been changed or what. I don't know. I've been hearing it from different places, all right?
Do you have favorites?
I can't really think of it.
Okay, so my I guess my favorite moment was when they mentioned Long Island, because we were just at the Long Island Doctor Who convention at Long Island Who, which is sort of a nation. It's one of the few Doctor Who conventions that are in this country that is strictly exclusively Doctor Who, and it was really fun. And to have them end up on Long Island, yes, of course that's Tesla, but of course it was also fun because we were just on Long Island at this Doctor Who convention. So the sort of synergy there was amazing. Anyway,
I like seeing Niagara Falls as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, beautiful. So okay, let's rate this thing. Why don't we? Unless we can is there anything anybody else wants to say about this?
Mom, what do you want to say? Do you have any?
No, just I'm looking forward to next week's with the Jadoon.
To the moon. You have to wait for them too.
I did think the makeup of the Arachnos-like creature was very good though.
Yeah.
I thought all the prosthetics and all that were excellent as always, as they were with the last episode with the Drex. Yeah. They always do excellent masks and things like that and prosthetics. Doctor Who do.
So because she survived and because they
won't be back.
They didn't have the dregs wiped out. These are creatures that could be revisited. There are lots of creatures in the past couple of the past two series that we can revisit that aren't the old faves.
Yeah, but the Pating never died. I don't think that's coming back.
The Pating was great. That was.
I love the Pating. He's a tiny little
all these little cuties.
I know.
What about
Baby
the
Yoda? Is that cute?
I know. It's like the Pating. It's like these
have
cute.
baby Doctor Who. Like you could have baby Silurians and baby.
Oh, baby Silurians, little lizard guys. girls. You know what?
That's so cute. Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, I'm getting squishy. Baby Daleks they're just like big Daleks.
But I'm
They're
telling you,
different.
what we need is a musical episode of Doctor Who.
Oh God.
I'll tell you why. Because did you know Bradley Walsh is a really good singer?
And Jodie sings too. She
And Jodie
did.
sings too. Yeah.
She did
Jodie's quite
St.
good.
Trinians,
Yeah, and she sung Yellow for Children in Need.
and she sung Yellow.
And Bradley Walsh, he's a chart topper.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's a chart topper. Yeah,
Didn't know that.
yeah.
Wait,
No,
what?
he's been #1 in the charts. Yeah.
Wait, in the charts for where? Around? Wait.
No,
where?
in the UK. Yeah, for music. Yeah,
Oh, really?
for singing. Yeah, he's a really good singer. Yeah, he's really popular. Yeah.
Oh, damn! I didn't
Well-
know that.
Yeah, no, you'll
I
have to
didn't-
Google it.
Wait.
Yeah.
So wait.
And then
So
you'll
this
see
is-
why I say there has to be a musical episode of Doctor Who, because the musical episode of Once Upon a Time was amazing.
Yeah.
That was so good.
yeah.
I got to try and stay on subject here, but yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, and the musical episode of Supernatural was great too. So yeah,
Mhm.
these things can be really, really fun.
Yeah, I think they could do one, because Doctor Who can do anything it wants.
Yeah. It really
But
can.
they have to do it right to not piss off the fans, because whatever.
Oh no,
like,
the fans get pissed off no matter what.
The fans
Right.
are grumpy
I would
about
just-
everything.
Yeah, I mean,
they're concerned about everything.
you could bring back Omega back, you could bring back Susan, and they'd still be pissed off about something.
I know.
Literally, I'm in so many fandoms. Some people complain a lot. I'm like,
I mean, they moan about everything, and now they're moaning about the ratings. Oh, stop worrying about the ratings,
They
TV
keep
isn't
mentioning-
done that way anymore.
hey?
everyone. Here's the thing. Whenever I search up Doctor Who stuff, it mentions the ratings on YouTube. I'm like, that shit is overpassed. Let's not mention the damn ratings. They're damn
Yeah,
ratings.
that's not the way TV's done anymore.
They're just no, but you know, I mean, Alan is partially right that the part of the fandom is toxic, and so
It
they're
is.
trying
Yeah.
to use the ratings as, oh, cancel the show now or change, you know, get rid of Jodie and bring a man back when, you know, it wasn't exactly working with Capaldi either.
Yeah, it wasn't
So-
working with Capaldi.
And then they have
the
to be,
ratings were good for Capaldi if you took the whole thing.
yeah.
If you
well,
took the whole thing, but the overnights were
Overnights have sucked. BBC
Yeah.
doesn't do TV the same way anymore. For crying out loud.
So I mean, the other problem is that you know you have the internet, so it's not
Yeah,
really
that is a
fair
big
to
problem.
compare to it anyway. And now it's being sold to HBO Max and Amazon. So unless
Oh, yeah.
everybody's in Africa, you
be
have to count those too.
I see. The problem is with today's modern age is that I don't think humans are ready for the internet. Really, most people are not capable of using the internet in a good way.
Yeah.
Like the
Definitely,
way people talk to each other. Don't use the internet until you can talk to people nicely. You know.
Exactly, please. Oh, by the way, I need to put myself out here. I know I can do some fucked up bullshit. I know I did a lot of bullshit back there and then, but let me tell you this. I don't like the tolerance of bullshit and activity on my face. Believe me, I know I can.
Yes, you know.
I can't really understand when you cover your mouth like that, but that's okay.
Like, you get the point. I just don't like too much of the negativity. Too much
Okay.
negativity.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of negativity, but that's the internet.
Yeah,
I mean,
we should move on though. We don't need to get sucked into it either.
yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
So
right.
Moving on.
moving on, we are free
Moving on.
to
Let
be,
it go.
be
Let it
excited.
go. Let it
Yeah.
go.
Let it-
Wait, just a second. We are free to be excited about this show that we love so much.
Oh, I am excited. I'm excited for the June.
Yeah.
Did you see
So-
the halfway trailer? They've released a new trailer for halfway.
No.
Wait, halfway.
The final half of the season.
No, I haven't
Wait.
seen it yet.
You haven't seen
Wait.
it?
Oh,
So how many episodes are in? How
Okay.
many episodes do you have left?
How many episodes do we have left? 6. 6, yeah, and they've released a trailer for the next. I think it includes the next 5, I would say, or the next 4.
Oh,
So
nice.
you see Cyberman, you see Jejune, you see another creature. I don't know what it is. Yeah, but you see Cybermen in it.
Okay, well, we'll do a review of that as soon as I've had a chance to watch it. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's only like 10 seconds.
Oh,
It's really quick. It's really quick.
It's just
was it for broadcast on the BBC?
No, it's just on Twitter. It's on Twitter. It's one of those, Twitter things they do.
Okay, cool.
The interesting thing about that is it is building up to at least one of their deaths.
What?
Oh God! We don't have.
Because Ryan says like, this isn't going to last forever, or something like that, and you could tell they're building up to something. Like it's coming to an end. One of either all of them or just one of them.
Oh.
Someone is gonna die.
Somebody could die, yeah.
I mean, I didn't mean to put it in my poll, but I put it in my poll that who gets killed by the alien ray gun, and I said the companion.
Yeah, and how many people have died in Doctor Who in the last 7 years? Almost nobody. So
it's the companions.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So
I'm afraid now.
So yeah. All right. Let's rate this. Let's start with Alex.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.5. Like I said, I mean, I did like that it was a little bit more typical to the Doctor Who episode, but they worked in some historical characters. They did have a villain that you don't see every single month.
Yeah, new villain, yeah.
Yeah, and I liked the Ronnie part. I liked the fact that Anjali Mohindra was back. So
it's a shame she wasn't back as the Rani.
As Ronnie.
As Rani. Yeah, I shouldn't say the Rani because that makes it sound like the Rani is the classic villain. Yeah. I would love I'd love Rani to be in it because she was so much like Sarah Jane, really, wasn't she, in the Sarah Jane Adventures?
She was.
Wanted to be a journalist, didn't she?
A journalist.
And it would have been really nice it's a real shame that they've never introduced any of the Sarah Jane cast. Really.
Agreed.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah, I would have liked that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it's probably too late to do it now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Tommy and what's the guy?
Oh, Clyde. Yeah.
Anyway, what's your final say and score there, Alan?
I think I'm gonna give it an 8 because it is really a solid episode. I've got no complaints with it at all. It's not the best episode, but I think that it is definitely a really, really strong episode that you can sit down and watch and you can enjoy. And, you can learn about some of these characters that you might have not known about. I mean, I didn't know about Tesla. I mean, I know obviously everybody's heard of Edison. I think I definitely have. I think you have, haven't you, Susan?
Yeah.
And probably most people watching this have, but I didn't know about Tesla. So it was just really nice to see. I don't know how accurate it was in the end. I think there is some things that weren't accurate, looking at stuff, but it's never going to be 100% accurate because at the end of the day, it's aliens. I mean, I don't think Scorpions really came down to Earth and tried to wipe out humanity, did they really?
But if there is a Scorpion King, there has to be a Scorpion Queen.
Yeah, she was a Scorpion Queen.
That's right.
Yeah. So you think there's a Scorpion King?
Yeah.
We're not going back to the mummy, Susan.
In Egypt. We can go. We can do archaeology.
Do you know
why are you going?
Do you know why doesn't Doctor Who do it? An Egyptian episodes with pharaohs.
Agreed.
I mean, come on. What is wrong with this TV show? I mean, We've
every
never had a proper Egyptian episode with
every
ancient pharaohs. I
every
would love that.
every
There we go.
every other franchise has gone there.
Yeah, I would love it like Stargate, you know,
Yeah,
have pharaohs and all that, and bring the gods in, you know, like because they were they were named after real pharaoh gods on Stargate, like
right.
Anubis and things like that.
Yeah,
They were actually real gods, you know,
yeah.
in Egyptian times. I'd love them to go to ancient Egypt. I mean, even if you didn't film in ancient Egypt, just do an episode around it. Because I just love ancient Egypt. I watch
And
if there's a program with ancient Egypt on, and it's archaeology or this discovering tombs and things like that, I'm there. I'm watching it.
yeah,
I'd do an episode around Cleopatra.
yeah.
Go back and visit Cleopatra. It's simple. What's wrong?
I mean, it was great. The river song was Cleopatra for a second,
Yeah,
and
no, but
it
see,
was
but I want a real episode, you know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Archaeology would be fun.
because
It's always a really good place to start a science fiction episode. To start
exactly
with
because
archaeology.
there's so much we don't know, and the Egyptians were so advanced, the ancient Egyptians,
Like
that you could easily put aliens like Stargate has done into
like
ancient.
Battlefield.
Yeah,
Like the Seventh Doctor episode Battlefield, where they go to they're doing archaeology about the Arthurian legend.
exactly.
Boom,
Yeah,
there they show up.
yeah. And Jean Marsh, brilliant in that.
Dig,
Love
dig,
her.
dig. Okay,
I love her in that.
yeah. Okay, so Mikey, what's your final say and score?
You get the fun by this point. 13 out of 13. I'm going to use this until the final episode of this series. So
Oh.
13 out of 13.
You're going to use it to the final episode, which you're going to give it 2.
But yeah, I love the episode as whole. 13 out of 13.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, but that still equals 10 out of 10, really.
Right. Well, and it's the same.
It's like saying 10 out of 10 is really 5 out of 5, really, isn't it? Or 1 out of 1 is really 1 out of 1.
True.
It's just the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you said 13 out of 10,
that is superlative.
then that would be a higher score.
Yeah.
13 out of
13
10.
out of 13 is your maximum score anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah.
So
Anyway.
because the really cool thing, and to bring yet another science fiction, like weird sort of funky science fiction thing into it, this is actually the second BBC program that has talked about Tesla. The first one was Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, and they had their whole story was based on running around, Dirk Gently running around in Tesla's labs and things. And so that was a fun one too. So I've enjoyed everything about Tesla. I love the fact that in the movie Coffee and Cigarettes, they the White Stripes bring out a Tesla coil and are talking extensively about Tesla. Tesla is his stuff is the stuff of science fiction. It is all futuristic. Everything that he wanted to do with power and light and free power. I mean, the way he using the magnetic field of the Earth in generating electricity is so much more perfect than coal or nuclear. Nuclear is groovy. I mean, it's really 60s kind of groovy thing, but it should be like captured in the same sort of thing as a lava lamp. It's at its series. Now it's time to go to the very futuristic ones. And I think that Tesla's ideas are valid. And I think that that's really why Doctor Who brought it to Tesla and Tesla brought it to Doctor Who. And so I think that was really what was happening in this. And I'm really glad that they did that. And I'm really glad that they included Edison, who was like a different sort of, person of influence, that his influence brought us a different way. that divergent road thing is really like critical. And the other thing that I really enjoyed about this, that gives me a superlative feeling, is the fact that all of the companions went their ways and did amazing things, and regrouped, and they were saving the earth. And Amy and Rory couldn't live in New York if they hadn't saved New York. All the other past characters who ended up there couldn't live there if they hadn't saved New York back then. Anyway, for that reason, I'm giving it 10 out of 10 Tesla coils.
Tesla coils. I knew that was coming.
yeah, 10 out of 10 self-lighting light bulbs. It's just he was so amazing. Anyway,
can I just say, it's I think she's done a good job, the writer of this, considering it's her first time writing for Doctor Who. It was by a new writer, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, so I think she's done a good job.
Brilliant. Good job. And so join us again in a week where we will be reviewing the Jadoon episode. And we are excited, apparently, for this. And thanks, Aled, for getting so excited for this. And thanks, Mikey, for getting excited about basically everything to do with Doctor Who. And thanks, Alex, for your intellect. And please enjoy the rest of our podcast. Do hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell to ding it. And leave us comments below. Whatever you want to comment, we're open. And
abuse, even if you just want to send abuse.
Yeah, sure.
Alex.
Yeah, and hey,
send abuse to Alex.
And then and like and subscribe and share it widely. That's right. That's what I was going to say. Share it widely, like Edison wanted to share
chlamydia
with money, but Tesla wanted to share without money. He wanted to share things freely. So share our videos freely. Anyway, enjoy.
Yeah, don't be greedy.
Thank you for watching.
Share what you have.
Bye-bye.
Especially money with me.